You're listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show, where wealth is empowering, purpose is crucial, and high vibes are non-negotiable. And now, here's your host, certified business coach and practical woo strategist, Sara J Loureiro.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Uplevel Your Online Business Show. I am really excited to do this episode for you guys. This has been a pretty hot topic with all of my clients and community members who are moms. They're always just kind of like, well, how do you do it all? How does this happen? Oh my goodness, you have a toddler. I need to know your ways. I need to follow your ways. And the first thing that I want to say is, everyone has a different level of support in their business and in their lives, and I happen to have a lot of support in this area. However, I also have a ton of hacks that can really, really help you to really focus on what it is that you need to prioritize and how to make sure that you're kind of inviting the chaos in while at the same time being productive and making sure that you're moving your business forward. It is totally possible. I have mentored a lot of clients now who are moms and who have successfully juggled all of the things and have built thriving businesses. So if they can do it, you can do it too. The very first thing that I want to touch on is something that I just spoke briefly about, which is the support. All right. So before we move further at all, you want to make sure that you get the best support possible, both for your business and for your family life. And so a lot of women have guilt over hiring nannies, hiring someone for daycare, putting your kid in daycare, asking your mom, asking your mother-in-law, asking your father-in-law, asking your father, asking someone to help you with your children, asking someone to help you clean the house, asking someone to help you with your business. But the thing is, you are not supposed to do it all. It takes a village, and it takes a village to both raise a child, and it takes a village to build a nice, profitable, sustainable business. Okay. So first things first is know where you need the support. Do you need the support in business? Do you need the support at home? Do you need both? And how can you make it all work? There are so many ways to find affordable support in online business. When I start to tell my clients of all of their options, they're like, I didn't even know that existed. I didn't even know I could hire an intern, for example, to help me with all of my social media duties. You want to make sure that you're getting that support. So it's time to leave the guilt. It's time to leave the unworthiness. It's time to leave all of the garbage that you have been told or that you keep on telling yourself in terms of hiring support out the door. Because you're not meant to do this alone. And so start to even just write down all of the different things that you need support with, and then start to really make sure that all of the priorities in terms of what you want to give to others are being met. You also want to see, okay, which one of these is most cost effective? So let's say, for example, maybe you can outsource some of your social media to someone who's offshore. So someone who lives in another country where their GDP is a lot lower. So their price per hour is a lot lower as well. Maybe you want a nanny to come in once a week. Maybe you do want to ask your mom to take care of your children once or twice a week. Whatever it is, just make sure that you're getting creative and that you're actively trying to find those best solutions, not just telling yourself, I don't have time, I don't have money. Those are both excuses, right? Those are both excuses. We're going to get into the time thing a little bit later, but first, make sure that you understand where you are limiting yourself just by not asking for help. So my second hack here is have a consistent routine for yourself. What does this mean? I personally love going to sleep and waking up at the exact same time. Even on weekends, I don't really steer off very much from my typical bedtime routine because that increases your own physical productivity in your body, and it also increases your mental productivity in your brain. Research shows that if you keep a consistent schedule, especially a consistent sleep schedule where you're sleeping, between 7 to 9 hours a day, That is going to really help you with making sure that your brain is nice and sharp. So what this also means, especially for someone like me, is if your toddler, if your baby, or if your child is waking up extremely early and they are waking you up, that is going to interfere with your body's own ability to understand when it is that you're going to wake up, right? So you don't have that automatic clock inside of you, because if your child's always waking up at different times, then you're always going to be waking up at different times. And when you're waking up at different times, your body still needs to adjust to that new time that you're waking up, and it's going to make you groggier. It's going to make your brain fog. And so you're going to want to make sure that you have a consistent schedule, both for you and for your child. If not for your child, if your child is just a little bit more sporadic, then definitely for yourself. So what I try to do is, let's say, for example, if my son is waking up at 6 o'clock every single morning, I'm going to put an alarm clock on for myself for about 5:30. And then that way, I know every single day, my body knows that we're going to get up at 5:30. That also means that I need to go to sleep sometime around 9:30, 10 o'clock. If I don't go to sleep around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and my alarm goes off at 5:30, I'm immediately going to feel more tired. And when I feel more tired, I'm going to feel more groggy. I'm going to have brain fog. And then that's going to seep into most of my morning. And I do not want that. So I try to keep that sharpness, that mental sharpness going on as well. So that's my first hack, is wake up at the exact same time every single day. Even if your child wakes up later, you want to make sure that you're waking up before your child. If your child wakes up even later than that, that is your perfect opportunity to do work, especially if you do not have any help, or you do not currently have any help. But hopefully after this episode, you're now brainstorming ways that you can get help with child rearing or with your business. But those are your prime hours right before your child wakes up. Those are the hours that you know that you're not being a bad mom, right? You cannot give yourself that mom guilt for. And those are your hours for you, for your own identity, for your own creativity, for the things that you love doing. And I'm assuming that you're in business because you also love it, right? You want to grow this business. You're the one who started this business in the first place. You didn't need to do this business. And so how can you really focus on maximizing those hours before your child wakes up? What are the things that you need to do right then and there in the morning that are going to help you throughout the day? The next thing is that 1 hour of business work is not the same as another hour where you're focusing on something completely different. Okay. So you could focus 1 hour on tweaking your website versus you can focus 1 hour on delivering really incredible content to your email list, right? But the 1 hour of tweaking your website is not going to yield you results versus the 1 hour of creating content that has a call to action. Let's say, for example, do you want to feel this way? And you put 3 points in terms of how your ideal clients want to feel. Click here to book a call with me to see if you're a good fit for my program, right? Both of those tasks took you 1 hour, but one of those tasks actually has the potential to bring you clients, and the other task is just busy work. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on income generating activities when you are working on your business. So things like graphics, things like web design, tech issues, all of those types of things are just going to eat at your time, and they're not necessarily the things that matter the most. Things that really matter the most in your business to really drive your business forward is solving the right type of problem for the right people and getting in front of those people. So those 3 things are the most important things. Talking to people and making sure that you have a problem, or making sure that they have a problem that you can solve. If you don't have those things in your business, it's going to be so much more difficult for you to work less at your business. Today's episode is brought to you by the Rapid Expansion Method, which is the proven 90-day program to help you sign on consistent higher paying clients and hit that 6-figure mark in your business with more leadership, alignment, and flow. So if you are either brand spanking new to your service-based business, or you are having trouble breaking the 2 to 3K mark per month, you need this program. We go all in on exact strategies that you need to sell yourself online and to book out your services solid. Find out what social media strategies are the best for you and your niche, while also being surrounded by brilliant female entrepreneurs who are go-getters just like you and are committed to your success. You can find out more about this incredible program at sarajloureiro.com/the rapid expansion method, or go ahead and look over into our show notes for more information. I also love working when it's nap time. So when it's nap time, I have that opportunity to open up my laptop, or I have the opportunity to make sure that I'm doing something in my business. And then, of course, when I have childcare, those are my standing hours that I reserve for my coaching calls, that I reserve for my sales calls, and all of that kind of stuff. So make sure that you have those designated hours where you know that someone else is going to be helping you with your child, or you know, for example, that your child's going to be sleeping, that you can actively work on your business without having those interruptions. Another little hack that I do, and I do this a lot especially when I go on holiday and I don't have childcare, is my phone is my own little project management system. It's how I communicate with my team. It's how I approve things. It's even how I jot down notes. And so let's say, for example, if I'm on a very long road trip, if my family is traveling to the beach, could be anywhere between 2 and 4 hours that we're on the road. And I'm not necessarily talking to my son. I'm not necessarily taking care of anyone. And so if I have a really good Wi-Fi signal, I will do work in the car. I will communicate with my team members. I will approve things. If I want to bring my laptop, which I haven't done in a very long time, but I can also work from my laptop in the car so I can write content. You would be surprised the amount of things that you can do, even just in a car on your commute to and from work. The opportunities are limitless when you are not the one behind the wheel. So if you have that sliver of time, just make sure that every moment counts, especially when you have children. Now, making sure that every moment counts also means that you want to give yourself downtime, and you want to give yourself intentional downtime. So make sure that you have at least 1 hour every day. So let's say, for example, it could be 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, and 20 minutes in the evening, where you're just doing something for yourself. That is also going to help increase your productivity rather than lead you into burnout and overwhelm, which is what so many people do when they try to push, and try to pressure themselves to do more and more and more. Another thing that I do that really helps me is I maintain very clear and healthy boundaries with my entire family in terms of when I'm in working hours and when I am not in working hours. And so let's say, for example, if it's a Sunday and I know that I need to finish something up for Monday, which is really, really rare for me. I normally do not work Sundays at all. But if I had to, I would very clearly communicate that to my husband. And I would say, between this and this hour, I need to do this specific type of work. I need you to make sure that you're watching Sebastian, for example. And as long as all of that is communicated beforehand, it's usually not a problem. In fact, one of the best things that you can do for that work life / mom life balance is make sure that you're clearly communicating those boundaries, both for other people and for yourself. So if you know that childcare ends at 5, you want to make sure that at 5 o'clock, you have already shut down your computer, put in your to-do list for the next day, and be well on your way to transition into the hours that are family life, and truly and fully enjoy them without feeling like you need to be on your phone, you need to be communicating with people, you need to be going on your stories or whatever else it is that you pressure yourself to do in order to be full on in your business. So when my nanny leaves, I know that that is full on mom time and that I can no longer work on business stuff. Of course, sometimes I might glance on my phone. I might respond to a few clients. That type of stuff is stuff that I allow because I do not think that there's anything unhealthy about that. But it all depends on what your unique situation is. Some people will just leave their phone on the table. And there are nights and there are days where I just barely ever check my phone because I know that it's going to be a disturbance. And it feels really good to just be able to leave the phone somewhere else and be fully present for my family. And I have tried to really come up with the best scenario for myself. And so I do have a lot of support. I think I said that in the beginning of this episode, and I want to be really transparent about that. But at the same time, I still am a mom. And I still do have my mom duties. I still want to be there for my son. I don't want my son to feel like I'm always working. But at the same time, I also have my own identity. I have a business to run. I provide for my family. And that also brings me joy. And so the way that I've been able to do this that feels the best for me is I wake up before my son does. I spend some time with him when he does wake up. So before he wakes up, I usually do my meditation. I do a little bit of journaling. He wakes up. We go downstairs. I fix him breakfast. He watches a little bit of TV. And then his nanny comes. And when his nanny comes, I usually at that specific point in time, I head straight to the gym. I'm usually at the gym for about a half hour. I come back home. I get ready. And then I take on my clients. I always give myself 1 hour for lunch. And in that lunch hour, you better bet that he's always like, Mommy. And he wants me to sit with him. He wants me to play with him. And I love it. I mean, it's great. That's why I work from home. That's why I have my own business, right? And then after lunch, I have a few more hours of work. And then by 5 o'clock, my nanny goes. She leaves for the day. And I'm with him until he goes to sleep. And of course, I also spend time with my husband. So that's our general routine. I try not to stray away from that. There are some days as well where, because I have so many systems in my business, because I have such a great team, there are some afternoons where I just spend time with him, where I spend, 2 hours for lunch rather than an hour, or we go for a walk, or we go out for ice cream. And those are the benefits of living a freedom-based life and really building a business around your family and not the other way around. So let's recap on all of that. So the first thing is find support, ask for help. You cannot and you should not do all of this alone. Utilize all of the time that your child is asleep to go at your business. Set the boundaries with your family in terms of when you're going to work on business, and set boundaries with yourself for your business for when you're going to spend time with your family. Bringing more health and wellness and mindfulness into your day is going to help you to be more productive. Focus on income generating activities in your business that are really going to push the needle forward for you. Commutes will be your best friend in terms of making sure that you have all of those little things done. And make sure that you're fully present when you're spending time with your family, and make sure that you fully understand what it is that you're doing all of this for, right? I know a lot of moms experience a lot of mom guilt, but then at the same time, your own identity and what you want to do with your life is also very, very important. And I want to make sure that it really hits home for so many of you who are listening to this. Your career also matters, and it matters as much as you want it to matter. So if you would rather spend all of your time with your child and you don't really care that much about your business, then by all means do things that way. But chances are, if you're listening to this episode, you are one of those women who wants to experience that identity aside from being a mom, and you really want to feel that success as a human being. And I see you and I hear you because I am you. And as long as you're following these tips, these hacks, you can totally have everything it is that you want and still be a fantastic mom. So I hope that you benefited from this episode. I would love to hear from you to see what you thought about it. And if you have any other tips, feel free to send me a DM and I will share the rest of your tips on Instagram. So you can find me at Sara without an H, J Loureiro. Loureiro, so Sara J Loureiro. You can follow me, send me a DM, and we can continue this conversation. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful if you hit subscribe or left me with a 5-star rating, and I will see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show. If you enjoy our show and would like the show notes and free goodies about how to grow your online coaching business, head over to sarajloureiro.com for more information. We hope you'll tune in next time.